Saving the Old Properties, LLC, 501c3, a full nonprofit to where people can actually give us stuff. We started S.T.O.P because we just kept seeing these old, beautiful buildings getting torn down because they couldn't think anything to do with them, or somebody's going to turn them into something they didn't want, or our biggest concern is developers coming in and turn them into apartments. Hey, look, we saved your building. You saved most of the outside. Gutted the inside, which is equally as important, showed how they lived. And so we started this to save the inside and out for plethora of reasons, for the history, for educational, for movies, for the arts, photography, just all this stuff. But initially, when we saved our first building, the old Blackford County Jail in Hartford City, Indiana, they were just going to tear it down for parking. And it started like in 1876 and took like 3 years to build, probably by Civil War vets and all that. And they were just going to tear it down for maybe 20 parking spots. That just didn't make sense. John Dillinger was in there for petty crimes. He was scoping out the local bank. He really knew his banks well and the sheriff's department before he robbed them, but he kept getting in trouble for drunken, disorderly, and stuff like that. So Dillinger was in there. So, it was just too good a history just to throw it away. The jail cells were made out of granite because limestone was too soft. So, just craftsmanship. That's why me and my brother decided to buy it, to save that old relic, the history and the craftsmanship of it. And now what do we do with it? So I turned it into a museum, tried to, but we had to do a lot of work on it first. And all these crazy things started happening. Finally, when TAPS came out and it was okay to talk about it, then we're able to tell people, and people came to us wanting to investigate us. I don't know, we'll pay you. Well, that's different. That's how we'll make our money to put back into it. So that's how it all started, just trying to save a particular building from the wrecking ball. And we didn't know the place was haunted, never even thought about it. But when you see a sheriff who died in 1977, I know not 1877, 1977, described a tea to his niece many years, let's see, in 2000, I saw him in 2002, I spoke to her and she goes, how'd you know this? Because what he was worn when I saw him, just as real as you and me, was what he always wore when he wasn't on duty. And he was an ex-sheriff there. I described him to a T. So 2 years I thought it was crazy. How can you just let all these other places go? So a building in town came open. It was an old speakeasy back in the 20s. And people weren't taking good care of it. So we purchased it. And so we have the speakeasy as well in Hartford City. And then we saw this place, driving by several times, slowly seeing it deteriorating. Gutters were all tore off. And the locals said, oh, make beautiful icicles in the winter, but that's death to a building. Water gets down, gets in the foundation, freezes and thaws and cracks the foundation. So I asked about it. I asked one of the county commissioners, and he said, if you have a good business plan and some, we'll talk. Well, we're just going to do what we did to the jail, just fix it up and let people come in and do their thing. So they liked the idea, and that's how we ended up with this one. We just want to leave it as is, maybe turn it back, because like fluorescent lights in the hallway here, now we put in the Edison style bulb. So they were happy. The older buildings, they need to save. The newer ones that are only designed for 49 years, yeah, it's just like, I don't think anybody's going to have a family heirloom piece of furniture made out of pressed wood. I think what is left, they do need to save, but with what money and do what with, it has to pay for itself. So a program like what we're doing, hate to say, but I think it's one of the only ways. Ghost hunting, especially in a small town like this, really wasn't well accepted. Now, we tell them it pays the bills, but we're open to weddings, birthdays, you know, any kind of event. It doesn't have to be ghost hunting. We're operating on a shoestring budget. The people coming in help pay for the place, but we need more income, and we need materials, and we need paint, we need volunteers. We have a whole list of stuff that we need to help save these places. Now, if you can come here and volunteer, that's great. If you live too far away, you can still volunteer. There's a lot of things you can do online to help. Donations would be wonderful. We're going to start a YouTube channel to show, hope I can, we're going to start a YouTube channel to show all the stuff we're doing behind the scenes that you can't see from the road. Like the tornado hitting the mansion. It looks rough still, but we're doing all the structural issues. So there's just so much that goes into these places, and we just definitely need a lot of volunteers, one way or the other. The funds, we're nonprofit, so we can show where all the funds go, but the income is keeping up, but not enough to add to. So if we'd like to put a roof on, keeps enough to patch a roof, but not enough to put a new roof on. You can contribute, and I'll give you some sites to go to. On Cash App, we're at $ and then Stop Asylum. And our email is savetheoldproperties@gmail.com. Our phone number is 765-808-8730 to get in touch with us if you do feel like you can help contribute, volunteer or financially, or donations. Need a lot of paint this year. A donation to Saving the Old Properties will help all the locations, and that we're a 501c3. It can even be taken off on your taxes. So please help us.